Senator. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Thank you for the opportunity to present SB24, which makes revisions to the Domestic Violence Restraining Order form to protect a child's school, medical, and dental information from an abusive parent. This bill requires third-party institutions, such as schools, dental offices, or medical offices, to develop protocols when they receive a copy of such a court restraining order. I want to share with you a tragic domestic violence case that was a catalyst for SB24. It begins with a young mother, Callie, who lived in Madeira with her 3 young boys, all under the age of 6. Callie left her husband in May of 2020 after years of brutal physical, emotional, and psychological abuse. Because of the emotional abuse, she was isolated from her family and friends and was afraid for the safety of her boys, and frankly believed that there was no one there to help her. With the assistance of a domestic violence support shelter, she obtained a domestic violence restraining order and went into hiding with her children, and finally contacted her family for help. After successfully hiding from her husband for 3 months and getting help for her and her boys, Callie made an appointment at a local health clinic. The clinic called to confirm the appointment and called Callie's husband, his cell phone, so that he inadvertently learned of the time and the location of the appointment. On July 14th, 2020, Callie's estranged and violent husband drove to the clinic, waited in the parking lot, and when she arrived, shot and killed her in broad daylight as she shielded their 3 young children from the bullets. I bring Callie's story to your attention because in the realm of domestic violence, this level of control, planning, and perpetual violence is unfortunately not an uncommon occurrence. It is projected that domestic violence has ravaged our communities at even higher rates since the onset of the pandemic. For those in an abusive relationships, the risks they face in leaving their partners may be just as dangerous as the risk of staying put. Up to 75% of abused women who are murdered are killed after they leave their partners. Violent perpetrators who murder their ex-partners go to great lengths to track their victims, and one strategy utilized by abusive partners is to track the location of the shared children. This is why obtaining a domestic violence restraining order is vital to survivors. The protective orders require the perpetrator to refrain from having any contact with the victim and their children. Currently, a judge can grant a multitude of different protections for the abused party, including orders that protect the medical and school information of the shared children. However, while a judge already has this discretion, there's no place on the actual domestic violence restraining order form. Therefore, when a protective order is printed and given to the parties involved, it does not explicitly say that school, medical, or dental information about the shared children be protected from the perpetrator. This makes it difficult for a school or medical office to enforce. If there's no clear language stating otherwise, then these third-party institutions will not deny a parent their legal right to information about their child, which is this, the whole idea of a parent having information about their children is really a sacred right in the state of California. So if you're going to decide as a judge that you want to protect the children and their whereabouts, including dental and medical visits and appointments, then there should be a place on the form that makes it very easy to check off and be able to protect the escaping family members. We have to offer more protections for people like Callie. SB24 is a simple step to offer better protection for survivors of domestic violence and their children. With me today is Sarah Rodriguez, Callie's cousin, who would like to say a few words, and DiAnn Beatty from the Alessandra Advocacy Group to speak in support. And I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. I do have the 2 witnesses, Sarah Rodriguez with us on the telephone and DiAnn Beatty also with us on the telephone. Sarah Rodriguez.
Yes, thank you so much for hearing me today. I apologize for my voice. I hope you can hear me clearly. But first, I would again like to thank the senators and their staff and everyone else who has helped and supported Callie's Law SB24. Callie was an amazing person. I know we always say that about people, but Callie truly was. Callie lit up a room. Her laugh was so quiet, but her smile was contagious. After many years of abuse, physical, mental, emotional abuse, Callie found the courage to ask for help. Honestly, I think that courage came from being a mom. Her abuser had broke her so far, but I think being a mom gave her just a bit of hope, something to flee for. When we helped her escape on May 15, 2020, just over a year ago, She was almost unrecognizable. She wouldn't make eye contact. She wouldn't hardly speak unless you asked her something, or even then she had no opinion and made no complaints. And she apologized for everything and anything. But when she interacted with her boys, you could see her still in there. We stayed with them for a month at a hotel and just listened to the horrific stories of things he had done, things you only see on TV. She was told every day her only purpose was to serve him. But Callie knew that wasn't true. She knew her purpose was to protect her children. Callie said her biggest fear and what made her finally leave was that if she didn't leave, he would kill them all. She wanted to end the cycle of abuse. She loved her children and did not want there to ever be a chance that they could grow up anything like him. She wanted her children to know what a loving family was like and what it was like to be a kid. The longer she was free, the more she was recognized again, not by just us, but she could recognize herself again. You could see her fighting to be free. She smiled, she laughed, she was planning a future for her and her kids with her family, with the people she loved and people who loved them. She was able to finally tell her truth and begin healing. She was so amazing and full of life again. She was staying in a women's shelter and still feared him. She was extremely careful. Even going to court had to be done with caution and took days to prepare for, just to face him. On July 14, 2020, Callie had an appointment at Camarena Health where an employee had told her estranged husband of her appointment. He waited for her as she exited the doctor's office, and standing at the shelter's van, he gunned her down in her last moments. Without a thought, she picked up her one son, threw him at the van, and used her body to protect the lives of her children. This monster took her from us just as it got her back. She is a hero. She would give anything to protect her children. On July 14th, she gave her life. I thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. I know that's very, very difficult to give that kind of testimony. DiAnn Beatty. DiAnn Beatty, are you with us? Operator, is there a DiAnn Beatty on the line?
Let me check for him. One moment.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Hi. My name is DiAnn Beatty. I am the co-founder, along with my husband Rick, of the Alessandra Foundation and Advocacy Group. These organizations are named in honor of my sweet daughter Alessandra, who was brutally murdered by her ex-boyfriend in October 2015, 2 weeks after she broke up with him. We offer our wholehearted support for passage of SB24. Alessandra's murderer spent about 2.5 years in jail in Nevada for attempting to murder a previous girlfriend. Of course, Alessandra and we knew nothing of his history or convictions until the aftermath of her murder. Alessandra and other women were not offered any way to protect themselves from predators like him. The Alessandra Advocacy Group was formed to partner with officials and legislators to craft a statute to allow the public to review information about domestic violence convictions via an abuser search engine. It would allow an NGO access to publicly available data and publish it to protect potential domestic violence victims. It is common sense legislation to protect victims and not convicted criminals. Domestic violence is in our headlines on a daily basis. We cannot become numb to it and the effects it has on every aspect of society. Senator Caballero has stood up for victims in a straightforward, simple way, and we stand with her. Callie had escaped her abuser only to be exposed via a tragic mistake that cost her her life and changed her children's lives forever. I am a survivor of domestic violence. My first marriage ended in 1990 with me fleeing with my son Aaron and daughter Alessandra to a battered women's shelter. It saved my life. Please do everything to protect information about victims of domestic violence who have fled and received protective orders. Again, thank you all, and may God guide and bless you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the hearing room who would like to speak in support of SB 24? Seeing none, at the remote testimony site? Seeing none, operator, would you open the lines for anyone who would like to indicate support for SB 24? We are taking name, affiliation, and support.
Thank you. If you are in support of SB 24, you may press 1 and then 0. 1 and then 0 for support of SB 24. And we will go to a line of 33. Your line is open.
Mr. Chairman and members, good morning. Paul Yoder on behalf of the City and County of San Francisco in support. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we'll go to a line of 29. Your line is open.
Good morning, Chairman Stone and members. This is Alice Kessler on behalf of the California Partnership to End Domestic Violence in support of SB 24. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we'll go to the line of 28. Your line is open.
Hi, good morning. My name is Jen Potts with the National Association of Social Workers, the California chapter, and we support this bill.
Thank you. And next we'll go to the line of 26. Your line is open.
Good morning. My name is Bethany Bird. I am the founder and executive director of Five Stones Open Door for Trauma and Abuse from Domestic Violence and Sexual Abuse, and we are in support of this bill.
Thank you. And next we'll go to the line of 27. Your line is open.
Good morning, Chair, members. This is Jessica Stender on behalf of Equal Rights Advocates in support.
Thank you. And we have no further support in queue at this time.
Thank you, operator. We will now go to opposition. I have none listed here today. So is there anyone in the hearing room who would like to speak in opposition of SB 24? Seeing none at the remote testimony site. Seeing none, operator, would you open the lines for anyone who would like to indicate opposition to SB 24?
Thank you. If you're in opposition of SB 24, you may press 1 and then 0. 1 and then 0 for opposition of SB 24. And we will go to line of 17. Your line is open.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Maria Sperber on behalf of the California Hospital Association. We do not have an official position on this bill. We do have significant concerns with our ability to operationalize, however, and I'd really like to thank the author's office for working with us, and we look forward to our continued conversations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have no further opposition in queue at this time.
Thank you. Operator, you may close the lines. I'll bring it back to the committee. Questions, comments? Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Questions, comments?
Thank you.
All right. Oh, Ms. Davis.
Thank you. Ms. Caballero, thank you so much for bringing this bill forward. What's amazing to me is that we haven't had this bill, you know, it's been too long for this. And as you said, such a large percent of these women and men, you know, lose their lives afterwards. So I really appreciate you bringing this up. It's going to make a difference. So thank you for that. And I would be honored to be a co-author of this. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, Senator Caballero, you may close.
I respectfully ask for your aye vote and appreciate the opportunity to present this bill today.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Motion is due pass to appropriations. Call the roll, please.
Stone?
Aye.
Stone, aye. Chow? Chow, aye. Chu? Davies? Davies, aye. Gonzalez? Gonzalez, aye. Holden? Kalra? Kalra, aye. Kiley? Kiley, aye. Mainshine? Reyes? Reyes, aye. Smith? Smith, aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Senator Durazo, item number 3, SB 2.